Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Wednesday, May 17th, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We had a rejection of those prices into 2404s, basically a couple of ticks above that 2303.75s. And once that rejection occurred live in the trading room and melted down about 10 handles, that was the first real sign here that we may be putting in a top. And so we reversed our course in the trading room and started looking to defend 2400 to 2401 quarter for a shot at returning price back to 2380.75, which is the FOMC level from May 3rd. And that was something that basically materialized here overnight as price dropped right into that target. Again, that was something that played out during the trading room here where once price rejected those highs, anytime you're rejecting a new high in that manner there, it starts the course back toward a key pivot. Now here's the big deal, is that 2376.5 is still such a significant level, and until that level is violated, bulls are still defending that area for a shot at returning prices to new highs. This has been a very buoyant market, and so far we've held no matter the news and no matter what's happened. Tech has been leading as well, which has been very, very strong. Now, if there's any failure here to hold 2376 and we get a stop run day of some sort here, that could flip the script and we could be looking for a move back toward 53s and 48s. After you see a move like this, it can be very difficult to engage here, but 2388.75 is going to be the key level to watch intraday. So let's take a look at that. Dropping down into the intraday time frame here. All right, here's the intraday time frame. Here's your 88.75s right here. So that's the previous close of the week. It's also the top of the key range. You can see price drop sharply right into the FOMC key level. 2380.75 popped back above it, and you're seeing some absorption here as price kind of marks higher a little bit. Above 88.75 could open up a move back toward 97 half into this zone here, but overall, this could be a very choppy trade as this thing goes back and forth. So after this big move here, we could see fade the edges type of play. Any failure to hold those 77, 76 halves could be significant. So right now, just watching 88.75 as the key pivot today, looking to base off of that level. Let's take a look here off crude oil. Looking at the higher time frame of crude, here it is. And basically, crude oil has seen a nice move up, and this is what I usually mention. After you see a major swing move, one way or another, in this case it was a nice swing up right into our target zone. Once you reach value and once you reach that target zone, there's a tendency to just chop and digest that area, and that's what I mentioned yesterday. It could be difficult day of trading here as price just kind of chops around looking for clean edges, and right now you're seeing much of the same. We've held in this area now for 3 straight days, and we could continue to see that. 48s are important, short-term support. Failure to hold 48s opens up 46.69, but right now it could be more chop back and forth in this area. There is one last gasp to about 50.20 that we could see. So even if price hits 50.20, we could then begin to chop between 49.20 and 50.20 for a little while as price continues to trade above and below composite VPOC. So right now, after the big move up, a little bit of digestion. Once we finish this digestion, we could see the next key move come about. So be patient with crude here. If you look at the intraday time frame, again, after you see a big time move up, you tend to see digestion. And that's why yesterday I mentioned be careful and cautious with how this thing plays out. We were looking for perhaps if this thing were to fail to hold 48.70s, 48.60s, we were looking for a return back toward 5-day value. 5-day value a little bit lower here into about 47.85s, 47.90s. We got very, very close in overnight trading, but no cigar here, pulling right back. So again, no real clean edges right now in crude as this thing plays and trades around value on a higher time frame basis. So again, you got to be cautious and careful with crude here as it trades and finds edges. Overall, this 48.75 here, one to watch short term. Failure to hold that level could return price, at least on a short term basis, back to value at 48.5. Let's take a look here at gold futures. Bringing up the higher time frame of gold. One thing I mentioned yesterday was the right now, gold not really trading clearly or cleanly compared to what it had been trading. It had just been a sneaky up move. And what I mentioned in the trading room is once this thing gets above 1240, and I mentioned this yesterday, once it gets above there, it could be a quick move back to 1250. That's the FOMC level from May 3rd as well. So a lot of these markets are making their move back to this key level, which is one that I marked for us back in May 3rd. When price gets away from that level and finds rejection, it's likely to come back to that level. We just saw that in the ES. We're now seeing that again in crude here. So again, this is a key level here to test. And overall, with gold going up, that could be a signal that ES will continue to push down, at least short term. But we'll see how price responds to this 1250 level. That's an important level here to watch. Looking at the intraday time frame here for gold, you'll notice right now the trend has been up. VWAP has been sloping up. That's something we've been talking about here. Before, all pullbacks to VWAP could be buying opportunities. Right now, you can see that there is a little bit of absorption off the right edge of this rejection, off the R3. That could open up a short-term pushback, but even if it does, could be a continuation higher until we reach 1250 and beyond. So overall, this thing continues to trend up. Pullbacks to VWAP have been defended each of the last several days, so continue to approach that strategy. Basically, every time it comes into VWAP, look to defend and push this thing a little higher. Lastly, looking at the NQ, haven't looked at this in a couple of days here. Basically, this one has been trending up very, very strong. And what I mentioned in our trading room yesterday was Wednesday could be the day here where we get below the previous low and look to reject. And so if there's a rejection here of this low, that could signal another push higher. Nothing's really slowing down the tech train right now. It's been a very, very bullish advance. All pullbacks that have been rejected at previous lows have been opportunities to buy for a multi-day move higher. Right now, this could be it. So we have to keep an eye on the previous session's low, which is somewhere around 56.96s. That's the area to watch throughout the day. If price can hold above 56.96, that could be a signal to push higher. The next upside target would be close to 5800 into 5887, or 5787 rather. So looking at the intraday time frame right now, and bringing up the previous session's low again, very important. That's this level right there. It's 56.96 quarter. So basically, price drove below that level, rejected higher lows into it, and now we're pushing higher. So that's the level to watch right now. 56.96 quarter. Pullbacks into that area will want to be defended by bulls for a shot at retesting the previous session's close. That's going to be 57.24 quarter. Any failure to hold this level overall after bulls have come in opens up a move to 5-day value, 56.75s. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.